Their losing streak is now 4 matches in a row. And the amount of criticism being directed at Mauricio Pochettino is ungodly. They lost to Switzerland, gave up 4 goals in 23 minutes in the first half. The fans in Nashville, beautiful looking stadium, soccer stadium, they booed. They booed all night. It was just really bad. The defense in front of the goalkeeper, Matt Turner, just caved in. But at the end of the day, Pochettino, who took 13 veteran players who have had injury problems and took them off the roster and said, you're not going to play in the friendlies. You're not going to play in a Gold Cup that starts next week on the 15th. You're going to sit and you're going to rehab and you're going to get healthy, so we'll have you for the World Cup. Anyhow, he's playing all these young guys, and these young guys, they got overwhelmed. And the defense, the fullbacks in front of Matt Turner were running around, guys running open, just blowing coverages. It was just really bad. Pochettino made 9 lineup changes going into the game with Switzerland. He took a lot of the young guys that were reserves against Turkey, where they lost, put them on the pitch against Switzerland. Then at halftime, took 5 of them out, put 5 more young guys on. He said he had to give the young players a taste of what this level of competition is all about. The criticism has been unrelenting towards the U.S. soccer coach. Landon Donovan did a rip job on Christian Pulisic, the captain of Team USA, who, of course, plays for AC Milan in Italy right now and has been a star with the U.S. World Cup program. And, he said, you need to represent your country. You need to wear the jersey. You need to play. And Alexi Lalas obviously have been really critical that this has become a disgrace to the legacy of soccer, and we're just a year out this week from the World Cup, and this is what our program is. So Lalas has been critical. Clint Dempsey, another star on legendary U.S. teams of years gone by, said, I always wanted to play. What the hell's wrong with you guys? Referencing Pulisic and these guys who are not playing. Pulisic finally sounded off today, early this morning. Pulisic said, I have played 121 games for the U.S. and for AC Milan, tournaments, championships, all these different cup events that we're in. I played 121 games. I have to take time off. He had 2 major injuries. Ty Adams, the senior member of Team USA who's been hurt, said, we just turned out all the noise. We're not listening to what any of these great legends of U.S. soccer have said. We're learning to play together, and we're pretty young, and we're going to get better. But he said the legendary stars are really out of line for taking this public stance against Pochettino right now. But man, this criticism, it has been nonstop. And so they're sitting there now with a 4-game match losing streak. And next week, they go in a Gold Cup. I don't think they're going to win a game of Gold Cup because these kids are not ready to play at this international level. But Pulisic and these guys say, we need to get healthy. We'll get all these guys back. And by the time we get to the World Cup, a year from this coming week, we'll have this thing back together. But nobody sees it that way.
Yes, it's interesting. First of all, I would imagine other nations have the same problem, right? Is Leonardo Messi playing for the Argentina right now?
Yes.
Okay. So the big players around the world will mostly go back to their team.
Oh, they all go back to their national team and play in these things. Thing is that the
but
US,
you don't get people like Pulisic, like the Italian version or the French version.
Some guys are out because of injury, but Pulisic has indicated, I need to take time off. It is really interesting, though. One of the English commentators made a comment about Landon Donovan. So Donovan is sitting here ripping the hell out of Pulisic. Donovan took a full year off from Team USA, and Landon Donovan's the all-time leading scorer for American soccer. He took a full year off because he was exhausted, and yet he's turned the tables now, and he's ripping Pulisic. When Donovan did it, I want to say in 2012, 2013, he stepped away.
But Donovan, he's more of a media guy now than a coach anymore, right?
Well, yeah, no, but he was a legendary player.
Well, obviously that, true.
But so he's turned media guy and he's pounding on Pulisic, but Landon Donovan did the exact same thing when he needed a break from soccer.
I think we're finding out these days in the news media that hypocrisy doesn't matter to people.
You don't want me to go there.
No.
Okay. Anyhow, so that's where we are. All things soccer. If you're a soccer fan, corner kick us an opinion. in the fans forum chat box would like to hear from you. Do you side with Pulisic and the new coach that they got to get these guys healthy for the World Cup? I mean, how important is a Gold Cup victory in the bigger picture of things? Or do you side with Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, and Alexi Lalas? I mean, these are the best we've ever had. We're playing for our flag. They're saying these guys ought to be out here playing.